Yo, 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 what is up? Merry holiday? Getting that time of the
Happy
year, closing out the
Christmas.
year. Got any New Year's revolutions to revolutionize your life?
Nope.
You got a week and a half. It's all good. But no, we're not gonna do. Let's not do like a recap. Not just because it was a bad night for us the last time that we did one of these, but because it was like a couple 4 or 5 days ago. We got some good games tonight. Fun little NBA week. We'll probably be off for some of these like holiday weekend days,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
hey, we're here today, and that's what counts. So let's get
Yep.
right into it with our Detroit Pistons tonight playing the Jazz. 2.5 point spread for the Jazz. 230 total. Nice game. Injury wise, I mean Livers has been out, and Kelly out tonight. Walker Kessler's been playing. It's been a little sporadic. He's playing a little more minutes. I don't believe we have Kessler lines though, right?
Correct.
But that's all good. I will say the Detroit Bigs have been playing better this recently, I guess, defensively. But defensively and Detroit is not two things that go hand in hand. So we'll get right into this. But close
Not
game.
yet.
Not yet. Yeah, exactly. Not yet. High total. Good game. Um, let's
GG.
jump right in. Loading up points here.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, Killian, 11 and a half. Ivy's got a 14 and a half. I don't know if any of these points lines for these Pistons guys are like.
All right. Yeah, so they don't look great, but I actually do like the Pistons in this one.
Mhm.
I think Vegas is too, showing that Utah's only a 2.5 point favorite. Um, Coming off the back-to-back
Right.
in Detroit. I kind of like how we match up. I guess Kessler is a little daunting as far as size goes, but again, he's just as raw as Duren is, really. So, um, I like Duren to keep with him as much as possible.
Yeah.
I just, yeah, I kind of like how he matched up. I like Ivy's matchup a lot. So I kind of like his, he played better that most recent game, um, against who was that against? Doesn't matter. Brooklyn, I think. Was it Brooklyn? I don't know, whatever. But I kind of like Ivy as far as points goes. I think he's at what, 14 and a half? Where is he? Yep, 14 and a half. There's not great value though, which is annoying. Because I actually do like him to have like 16 or so in this one. I just like the Pistons to score more than what people anticipate in this one.
Yeah.
Because like it is a 230 total, which is pretty high for a Pistons game. And I just like the Pistons in general. So any game that's going to be close, right, with a high total, is going to favor, you know, the Pistons more than usual because these kind of environments and games aren't as common. So like we're
Yeah.
still getting Ivy at this 14 and a half line. I don't know why. I don't I kind of just disagree with the fact that it's such a juiced on the under. Um
He's been.
Bogdanovich
This is just like the
revenge
perfect
game.
Ivy line this season, though. I mean, he's been like right here. It's been a little more sporadic. The minutes have been kind of annoying, like in this most recent stretch. But I feel pretty comfortable and confident that he'll play like the 28 that we've kind of seen from him in games that should go like this one should go tonight.
Yeah, I think it is just not to the minutes, but yeah, Boyan revenge game against the Jazz.
That's true. Yeah.
No, I
And
actually don't hate
poor
him
poor
either.
Kelly Olynyk doesn't get his revenge game
I
tonight.
know.
Out tonight.
Where's Saban Lee at? No, I don't hate Bogdanovich.
Yeah.
22 and a half is pretty much a pick 'em. But again, he's been our most consistent scorer, not only this recent stretch with everything changing, but just obviously all season too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, points wise, nothing looks great. I just kind of like Ivy. That's more of a narrative in my head and a gut feeling. There's not much behind that, so I probably won't actually play it. But yeah, I don't love the Pistons points lines.
Yeah.
Jazz points lines, Clarkson's a little high, but this feels like a Clarkson game.
Yeah,
And,
man. Clarkson coming off a nice stretch, and I mean it is
yep,
the Pistons, but I will say defensively, I mean Killian no slouch.
hmm
And I mean Ivy, not like an incredible defender, but quick, shifty.
yeah,
Trying
yeah.
to
I don't
convince
love all
myself.
these points. Actually, it's not the underdog doesn't have a line on them, but Nikhil Alexander Walker's interesting to me too. But I would
Yeah.
love to see a Walker Kessler line. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, I kind of want to peek at some of these
Um,
peripherals. I know
but
we're kind of talking
yeah,
through these points here. I think some of these like assist lines specifically I like a little bit more. So I'll pull that up real quick.
Yeah, there's some decent assist lines just throughout the night tonight even that I've been seeing that I kind of like.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Yeah, we've got, I believe Killian is at six flat. Just feels like another good spot for that. Again, higher total game.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty solid implied total for the Pistons as well. Um, and we took him before the six flat where he hit. Um, I think we took him as well, the 6 or 6.5 against the Kings where he didn't hit. Only played 29 minutes. I think that game was kind of a
I
bad
think
game
that
in
was. I
general
think we
for all
went
Pistons.
I think we went PRA there.
Oh, you're right. We did go PRA
Yeah.
there. You're right. Um, but yeah, I mean, Killian, surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly, is kind of safer to get 30 plus minutes than maybe any guy in this roster except for like two.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it feels like he would be the guy to go with. 6 assists, the good potential assists as far as like the last stretch where he's been playing more and running
Yeah.
the points
Past
and
past 10,
no
he's at
gain.
like I think he's at like 12 and a half and like just over 7 actual.
Yeah. So obviously been producing at a good rate in the assist category. Should be a close game, high scoring game. Six flat is not a very scary line at all. Very
Mm-hmm.
safe line, if anything. So probably my favorite play of the night
I know it
in
is
this
kind of
game.
interesting.
Sorry.
I will say the Jazz specifically are a team that doesn't give up. They give up, I think, the second fewest assists to the point guard position. But I will say a lot of those can be pretty misleading. For me, I think of the Jazz as like a very poor interior defense team, which for me is more of a lot of teams really attack that and get ISO situations with, we saw it with Zion, right? Or when you have these like dominant post scores. Pistons don't really have that, right? From a scoring perspective, it's like bogey, and then it's like
Mhm.
whatever shot creation like Killian, Ivy can make. So I really think this game, traditionally you might look at a Jazz game and go, oh, we really like the big guys. It's just hard to like, like I love Jalen Duren, but like he's an alley oop guy. He's not a, make your own shot on the post on the block.
Sure.
Same with
Yeah.
Isaiah Stewart. Who's been a better 3-point shooter than he has been. He's been attacking pretty well, but he's not
Mhm.
a let's feed Stu and
Clinical.
like
Yeah.
get him some clinical buckets. So I do want to call that out. I think Killian's
Oh, that's a good
assist
point.
line looks good, even though you might look at the Jazz and be like, oh, they don't give up a ton of assists to the point guard position.
Yeah.
It's still the offense still
Uh,
is going to have to run through kind of the guards and wings.
Speaking of which, I actually, now that you bring that up, I do kind of like Stu. 11 and a half. I think the line has moved up, kind of talking about what you said, like how poor the Jazz have been in the paint defensively. Um, Stu's line moved up to 11 and a half. There's value on the over already. In this last month, he's been shooting close to 10 times a game. Um, 13, 12,
He's been
7, 9,
very
8,
very
9,
good from
8,
three
10,
this season
7.
and a lot more confident.
Yeah, the 3 point efficiency and volume is up. He's going to probably shoot close to 10 times in this game. And for a big man to shoot 10 times, 50% from the field is pretty standard from a big. And to get that is already, 10 plus with the 3 free throws in there. I kind of like the 11 and a half line for him. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. No, I don't hate that. I know it's like it's always
Yeah.
scary, right? When we talk about guys like Isaiah Stewart, who just aren't going to be big volume guys, but it is a very low line for a decent total game. And yeah, like we
Yeah, I mean,
said,
that's,
like Kessler's, like you can talk about names all you want. You talk about like Kessler and like he's a pretty good block per minute guy, but as far as like interior defense, like that phrase, the Jazz are
yeah.
not great.
Yeah, that's kind of the nature of, going with these more fringe guys is,
Mm-hmm.
they're not getting guaranteed tons of volume, but they have the lower lines, right? So
Yep.
it's like, and you get value of a guy that probably could take advantage of a scenario and this night and become one of those higher volume guys randomly on the night to take advantage of that lower line.
Yeah.
I like it personally.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny. I mean, he's been like you're gonna look up Isaiah Stewart box scores and stats, and he's like obviously the volume hasn't been great, but he's been like teetering this line almost every game. Like it feels
Yeah.
like he never completely disappears, right? It feels like
Yeah.
he's shooting 7 times a game, like regardless of the game, what happens, and he's just playing big minutes. I mean, we talked about you talk about Bagley being pushed to the bench. Jalen Duren's been playing more, but Stu's been kind of the constant guy who's gotten that bump, and he's playing the 28 29 starter minutes. So I do like Stu.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I think again, Jazz side, Is it just a marketing game? Markkinen's probably got a pretty solid matchup. He's kind of the
Mm,
awkward size 3/4 that like I don't know how the Pistons deal with him per se.
yeah.
Um, so I mean his line is at what, 21 and a half. It's really not that bad.
Yeah, we talk about the Pistons bump is like a real thing, right? Where it's uncommon for a team's leading scorer to not have a good night against the Pistons.
Correct. I mean, yeah, we just saw it with KD dropping 40, what,
Right.
48, 43, what was it?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Markin, I mean, I kind of like the matchup he gives the Jazz versus us the best out of anybody. I mean, like the bigs, right, are usually pretty weak for us, but like their bigs are kind of inexperienced and not offensive like savants anyway. Like Vanderbilt and Kessler, they're kind of in there to do the dirty work, the defense, the rebounding. Vanderbilt can score, but like these guys aren't like, get in their bag guys. Markkinen's their guy. He's the guy that can get in his bag. He's the only guy that can do that. And he's got about what, 4 or 5 inches on Bogdanovich. So,
Mm,
and Bogdanovich isn't the greatest. He's not a lockdown defender by any means. He's a body.
yeah.
But that's the thing. He's a body, and he's a smaller body in this matchup. So, I and like you said, I think people typically against the Pistons, the best player kind of does show out. Because we don't really have that one stud to stop the best player. We have a supporting cast. We have some decent depth. We have some good rotation to help kind of minimize the damage from their supporting cast. But when it comes down to the best player versus our best player, offense versus defense, usually the other team's offensive best player wins. So I like Marketing 21 and a half. And,
Hmm.
we talked about it a little bit earlier. Clarkson might also be kind of there looked at as their best offensive player as of late, specifically.
Yeah, as of late for
Um,
sure. He's been hot.
But I do think Ivy and Killian, whoever, if they want to put Killian, Ivy, switch it, whatever, I think we have a better arsenal of defensive schemes that we can use against Clarkson versus Markin. And Clarkson does feel like a piston killer, though. He feels like one of those guys, because
Yeah.
to me, Clarkson's really annoying. He's like an irrational shooter. He kind of just pulls no matter what. He just shoots a ton. He's kind of a punk. And those guys are those guys that beat the Pistons, and I can't stand it.
Yeah. No, I do think it is kind of, and we can kind of move on from here, but I do think
Yeah.
that like those two are definitely appealing to me. It's hard for me to like really pin down. Obviously the lines are really close, and I think you can like both of these. Like I totally get it. I do think defensively, I know like lineup wise, it's like Killian on Conley as far as like 1 through 5 lineup matchup, like at the point guard spot, but I don't know, man. Like ways Clarkson's been playing, I feel like I'd much rather have Killian on him.
Yeah.
Um, but we
Yeah.
can move on from here. I do. I will say I did peek over to rebounds, just to see if Jalen Duran has gotten the respect, and he's at that 10.5 line. And man, he is just so he can just be a monster on the glass, man. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I think it's too spooky. But I
Yeah.
will say I do feel more comfortable about it because I feel like we've seen a stretch, specifically this like last 8 or 9, where he's played just like 25 to 30 minutes every game, which has been really nice,
Right.
but still a little spooky. So we can move on from there.
Yep.
Next up here, I know you were peeking at it earlier, this Heat injury report, but I think Jimmy, you had said, is probable instead of
Yep.
actual questionable game time decision. So we should have lines for those guys. Injury wise, no Lowry tonight. That's probably the big one. No Martin as well. Jimmy should play. So this is a 222 total, 4-point spread for the Heat. Chicago, Miami. Nothing big for the Bulls. Lonzo still out, obviously.
Yeah. Um, this one just instinctually, I kind of like DeRozan. Um, very much a pace down spot, which again, I feel like I beat a drum with this one, but like I like DeRozan in these pace down spots. He had a good game against the Heat earlier this season where Jimmy Butler actually did play as well. So he's at 25 and a half, which is a pretty good line. And you could kind of tell the books agree. I mean, there's some heavy juice on the over on this one as well. Minus 140 at DraftKings, almost minus 140 at FanDuel. And you can get it for even money on Underdog. So 25 and a half for DeRozan in this kind of matchup feels pretty good to me. Um, I like in a vacuum. I really like this line. I understand to the public eye, it's like you think DeRozan's going to hang 26 against a Miami, defense in Miami when the Bulls are garbage. Blah 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 blah. So I get the concerns, but in a vacuum, I mean, this play style feels very much catered to DeRozan. He's going to shoot a ton no matter what. And 26, I mean, you take this line last year, you're running with it. So um, I still like it here. He hit earlier
Yep.
this year. I think he had like 30 something last time.
Yeah, he hit 2 out of 3 last season as well. And I think you could argue that that Heat team last season, for whatever reason, felt like a scarier matchup than they have this season. Obviously, they're a team that deals with injuries here and there, but even in these Jimmy games, I think the Heats have not been as insane defensively. Obviously, losing PJ is a little part of that. That's a guy that's just
Yeah.
constantly a really strong defender. So, but yeah, I like DeRozan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh,
What do you
on
want?
the Heat side, Bam's lines are a little high for me.
Hmm.
He's at 20 and a half. I think he's at like 9.5 or around 10 for rebounds as well. A little high for me. I know he's been playing a lot better. But man, do I want to play him against Vooch after we rode Vooch and saw how soft he was. I do want to ride Bam, but um, I don't think I'm feeling it too much right now. Jimmy, 21 and a half when he's kind of probable. Jimmy points is something that I could just never get behind. He's one of those guys that he just does what it's kind of like a Chris Paul. He just does what he has to do to win the game. He can give you like a 15 9 and 9 performance, or he can give you a 46 and 6 performance. I can never bank on Jimmy's volume personally. 21
Yeah.
and a half is, having been said, it's not a daunting number. I do like the Heat in this one. I like them to cover the -4. Do I like a 21 and a half more than DeRozan's 25 and a half? That's the question.
Yeah, it is pretty
Because I
scary. I
like him
mean,
more than Bam.
Jimmy is one of those guys who like he can just have like these not even like on and off nights, but just like nights where he's less involved or just he has these like high assist games. So I'm never like super confident in playing Jimmy on a lot of these unless I really like the night. I will say no Lowry tonight, which kind of like scares me a little bit from a points perspective. And then obviously his assist line's got that big bump up at 7 flat and underdog.
Oh
That
yeah,
is
it's been
too
fun.
spooky.
Yeah. Tyler Harrow's the other interesting one to me on the Heat side. He might be the one I like the most, actually. 21 and a half. I like his matchup a lot. The Bulls are terrible against the two guard. Um, they also give up good amount of threes to the two guard. What's his threes at, actually? Probably 2.5, I'd guess. He's at 2.5. Nope. Well, he's not an underdog. 3.5 for some books. Holy.
Mm.
Levine's at 2.5 on underdog. It's not awful. Jimmy Butler's at 0.5 on underdog. Kind of like that.
Um,
Yeah, I kind of like. I'm not lying. I kind of like Tyler Harrow.
yeah. I'm peeking at assists right now.
I just like the Heat in this one, but it is a pretty. I like the Heat in this one, but I also like the under.
Yeah.
222 seems a little high. Like I can't imagine this game is like 116 to 110. You know, not Heat.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of a
Yeah, I guess I could
nod,
see that.
like uh, it's like an old Heat, like any kind of like Heats line that were above 220 last season. We're like, really? Are you sure
Right.
about that?
I mean, like no Lowry like defensively, but like Oladipo can defend.
Yeah.
They still got Bam Butler. Yeah, I guess no PJ. Bulls just kind of stink though.
Yeah.
I don't know. We can move on though.
Yeah, no problem. I was just peeking at some of these 3-point lines too. The ones that I would usually like, I just don't feel as great about with just like how things have gone. Like Levine threes at 2.5, that just seems like the right line versus like a line I want to take advantage of. So I'm cool to move on. I'm gonna take a look here at this Golden State Knicks game. Let me pull down here. Obviously, no Curry. Going to be out for a minute here. No Wiggins or DiVincenzo tonight. So obviously a lot on Jordan Poole's shoulder from a point guard perspective. And it's a 221.5 total, 6-point spread for the Knicks with all these Warriors injuries. And honestly, just how the Warriors have played this season, to be honest. So
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty interesting game. I know these Poole lines are very juiced. I'm on the threes right now. I guess I'll just stay here just to see how big these lines are. Okay, we don't have a Poole 3.5 line. Clay don't have a line. All right, we can move on. Let's look at the points.
I really like some of these Warriors guys. I really like Draymond or Poole here, and mainly because DiVincenzo's out, Curry's out. They're probably not going to play Wiseman much still again, even though he did play last game, like 2 minutes. But barring anything crazy, this is kind of catered to a game where like the starters are going to get a lot of minutes. Like they're not very deep right now at all, especially if Kuminga's out. And so to me, that screams like Draymond is going to get like 35 to 40 minutes. Poole is going to get 35 to 40 minutes. And when that happens, like obviously good things happen for the over. Like last game against Toronto, that's exactly what happened. They're not very deep. Draymond Green had 37 minutes, 17, 9, and 5. Jordan Poole had 35 minutes, 43, 1, and 6. Now, granted, obviously he shot crazy well. But like I really like this to kind of happen again, like 35 to 40 minutes for these main guys. Because
like,
of how much they're kind of struggling. And which, if you look at not sponsored, but daily RotoWire, which we're using for lineups, added projected minutes, and Poole, Clay, and Draymond 36 each.
Yeah. How do you feel about
that's a big deal.
Yeah, no, and I'm going right here too. I think what would be interesting to you as well. How about this 6 flat line for Draymond assists? We're seeing the over favored on 6.5 for a lot of these books. Just like I feel like these like Draymond games where you remove offensive weapons. He's just like constantly a guy who's just involved in the offense, even when Curry's there. So I feel like I kind of look at this game, and obviously you remove good shooters, right? So you don't have a Curry anymore, and you've got you don't have DiVincenzo or Wiggins, but still, I mean, you still got Poole and you still got Clay, and we saw right in one game Draymond has had, since the Curry injury, 16 potential. Now it only turned into 5 assists, but I mean, he's going to have so many potential assists in this game. He's going to play big minutes. The balls, it's really going to be in, like you said it, the 3 starter guys' hands, right? I mean, Looney's going to be on the floor, but not involved. Obviously, there's going to be offensive attention to guys like Poole and Clay. Mm-hmm. But I just think Draymond's going to have the ball in his hands a ton. This doesn't feel like a game where Draymond's going to attack the rim a lot, right? When you talk about guys like Mitchell Robinson and the paint, and defensively he's got Randall, who body type and strength matches up well. So I really like Draymond assists here. I think this is a really nice flat line. It's one of those flat lines where I actually like it at 6.5. So you talk about the 6, like really like it at 6.5, right? Obviously, if I like over 6, I like 6.5, but like those really, really likes. Like it's not just like, I think this is safe to cover. I actually really like this to hit 7+.
I love it. I was looking at his PRA a little bit, good value on the over as well at 21.5. But you brought up a good point about, the way that Draymond's going to score most of his points are at the rim. And this Knicks team kind of clutters the paint a little, Barrett, Randall, and Mitch Robinson.
And when Looney can't spread the floor, right, that's another part of just like Draymond offensively too. And so when you talk about, like, I bring up Mitchell Robinson, who's not going to play on Draymond like consistently, right? But from a defensive standpoint, he's going to have opportunities to be in the lane, right? Because Golden State wants to spread the floor outside of, when Kevin Looney's on the floor, him specifically. But
Draymond did hit 3 out of 6 threes against Toronto, but I'm not banking on that happening again. It's the first time all season he's done that. So I love the assist play. Cool. On the other side of that, though, someone's got to score. Poole's points is high.
Yeah.
It's at 26.5. But I still really like it. Brunson's a good defender, Mm-hmm. But like you said, I think the Warriors are going to shoot a lot of threes. I like Poole's points. I don't hate Clay's either.
Yeah.
actually. I know we've kind of been fading away from Clay,
Clay
just
is
in,
he's
in
just gonna
general
shoot
recently,
a
but
ton, right?
yeah, they're both going to shoot a lot of threes, and that's just their fortes. So let's see. I'm gonna take a quick peek here. Jordan Poole, 3.5. Great value on the over, but not underdog.
Yeah.
Neither of them are. Okay. Well,
I
yeah, I don't
think
hate either of their points. I think just Draymond assists. I don't think you get too cute with it.
yeah,
I
and
think
I
it's
will say
better
I
play.
even prefer like I do like Clay, but
Smash play.
I kind of prefer Poole a little bit versus Clay just because
I
I
do too.
think both of them are going to shoot a ton, but I think defensively I agree. I kind of like where Poole's at in that spot, and I think we've seen more consistent volume from Poole in these Curry less games than we've seen from Clay. Like Clay's going to shoot a ton, of course. Obviously, you remove a guy like Steph, but just from a like direct impact, like removing DiVincenzo and Curry and Wiggins, I think like Poole gets a really nice bump.
Yeah, I agree. I
Um,
love the Draymond play.
but we can keep it moving here. We can
Yep.
wrap this up pretty quick. I know we got a lot of injuries, so do we even really want to touch
There's not
this
going to be anything
Wizards
there.
game? Yeah, we can move through that.
I can. I mean, there's nothing there
Booker,
right now, but
Porzingis, Ayton. I think I'm cool to just we'll just talk about this last game here and kind of wrap up here. I know we're missing. I mean, do we have a ton of lines for this Denver game? I know Jamal Murray's a game time decision. I'm sure we've got
yeah,
some Memphis
they have
lines.
Jokic, Ja,
Okay,
Brooks, JJJ. They have most people.
gotta yeah. Um, you like your traditional Dylan Brooks over?
I kind of do actually.
Sorry, I'll quick touch on this game's 235 and a half total, 2 point spread for Memphis. One of those just like beautiful spread. I'm gonna say should be close games because I feel like every time I say close game, it's randomly a 30-point blowout. So let's say should be close. Ja 28 and a half, Jokic 26 and a half. Got that
Oh,
Brooks 19 and a half. What are you getting in?
I want to know if KCP is playing. I really like Dylan Brooks again
Mm,
in this game. I love him. But KCP is a very good defender.
yeah.
And Dylan Brooks against KCP in his career, not good. He's covered this line twice in his entire career.
Mm,
When KCP played for the Lakers. But KCP just is a really good defender. He's long, he's switchable.
yeah.
He fits perfectly against these shooters like Dylan Brooks. And when Dylan Brooks faces him, he's shooting 21%, 37%, 38%, 28%, 20%, 28%, 40%. Not great. I think the volume will be there, but the volume was there in these other games too. Um, I do think he shoots like close to 20 times though. And when he did that last time against KCP, he still hit the 24. I still like it.
Yeah.
It's at 19 and a half instead of 18 and a half. Boo hoo, whatever. Missed by the hook in that Bucks game in 21 minutes. He should have hit. And Thunder game, smash play, 32 points. I like it just to keep going. I like him to shoot a good amount again. Um, Jaren Jackson, I don't hate either, but I'm just an Aaron Gordon hater when it comes to defense. So it's a little charged. I don't know. What are you
Nah.
thinking?
Yeah, no, I actually I peeked ahead to I was curious at what the assist lines were for this one. Because I agree, I do like Brooks at that line. I was just curious, just from it's a nice pace up spot, what this game should look like for Denver. So I know Jokic points are kind of been like iffy up and down the season. His assist line's at 8.5. I mean, I do like the over. I don't know if I love it. Um,
Jokic.
yeah,
What was this? Since that 8.5? You said
yeah, 8.5.
coming off that just video game numbers.
Yeah,
Dang,
that my career mode.
unbelievable.
40, 27, and 10. Oh
Just
gosh.
unreal. Yeah, I kind of do like the 8.5.
Yeah, I like this. It's one of
I
those like
agree
you
with
just
you.
like the game. It's a nice pace up spot.
hmm
Like
hmm
um
hmm I think it would help if
I know.
Jamal Murray plays.
All right. I wish I knew.
I wish I knew.
Do you have I know
Um,
we really like Draymond assist. I think at this point, like
yeah,
what
there's a
plays do you
couple
like
things I like
love
going.
in this game? Like I feel
So,
like Draymond is on a tier of its own for me of like plays I love tonight.
yeah, I agree. I think Draymond's a smash play. over 6 assists. I like Stewart over 11.5 points. I like
Hmm.
Killian over 6 assists. I like DeRozan over 25.5 points. I like Dylan Brooks over 19.5
Yeah.
points. Um, what were the other ones that I didn't put down? I like something with Laurie.
Yeah.
I kind of just want to go points.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm scared about the 21.5. Like that's just kind of what he's been averaging in the
No, and I
season.
think
He's playing
no, and I
decent.
think I know we talked about like Clarkson versus Laurie, and I think like it's just one of those. It's the Pistons. Like both of these guys are probably 20 plus point guys tonight, right?
Exactly, right. My issue a little bit with that though is like, yeah, it's a Pistons. Jazz are gonna score a lot, but like Jazz do go pretty deep, so there's a good chance
Yeah,
that like their supporting cast can
Vanderbilt
score.
and yeah,
Yeah, it's like THT and Beasley and Alexander Walker off the bench. Like these guys can
Sexton,
also
yeah,
come in and put up 12 to 18, and which brings this total to a Jazz 116, Pistons, whatever. Um, but still, I do like marketing um at 21.5. And yeah, I agree. I mean, Clarkson and Marketing can both score 20. Like it's not like the Pistons are going to stifle this team to a 100-point team total. So,
yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, Draymond's definitely a play. I like that a lot.
Yeah, the front line's really nice.
I don't hate Jokic still. Um, Denver, Memphis.
Yeah, how much does it like affect you in your mind if Murray plays or not?
Um, Not a ton. My thinking is, why don't I kind of just want to go points. I mean, he's just been shooting a lot more lately.
Yeah.
A lot more. Um, and his points are at 27, 26.5. That's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad at all.
And obviously he's had some
At
like easier matchups, but
the 236.5 total, high total, should be a really good close game. Like, this shouldn't, I mean, it's the NBA, so it can get away from somebody. But, granted that Jokic plays, Murray plays, that people are healthy, this could be a slugfest. And like you said, it's a good pace up spot for Denver. I think Jokic can just easily shoot 20 plus times this game. And when he shoots 20 or more times, the success rate of him converting 26.5 points is very good.
yeah.
Like if he shoots 20 or more times, it's a look at hit, 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 miss by two, hit. And there's no reason for me to think that he doesn't shoot 20 or more
Yeah.
times.
I'm
Close to that
peeking
on
at
that team.
Jokic PRA. I know it's probably crazy high.
Probably stupid high.
Because I'm sure his rebounds are insane. 40, 47 and a half.
I would love to see his free throws. I know that that's not like,
You know,
I don't think
dude,
Underdog has free throws
20,
today.
26, 11, 10 doesn't cover his PRA. Isn't that crazy?
Really?
That's 47, 26, 11, 10. That's insane. Imagine having Jokic have a 26, 11, 10 game and you're like, oh, he didn't hit his PRA. What?
Um, yeah, I think I lean points over assists personally.
Yeah. No, I like both of them. That's kind of why I wanted to peek at PRA. But obviously, the rebound upside is going to just destroy the variance on rebounds is going to just like really hurt whatever PRA line you want to bet. So, um, I do like this game. No, I like Jokic. I think I liked Jokic something, maybe not like significantly more, but a little bit more than a lot of the other lines we were talking about. I wouldn't mind playing like Laurie points or something tonight, but I'm cool doing like Draymond assists and Jokic points.
Yeah, go Jokic points over all the other things like Killian 6 assists. You like that more?
Oh, I mean, I'm down to do three or something if you like. Because I will say like that and like Killian and Laurie are like pretty close for me, so I have no problem throwing in like a third if there's one you really really liked and one to stake your reputation on.
Yeah, I'm not feeling like a plant my flag play, but I do like Killian.
I like it. He's gotten pretty unlucky, man. Foul trouble in some of these games and weird minutes. Like he really, honestly, should have smashed his assist by even more than he has in these recent games.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go Killian over 6. I just love that flat line too. I think it's so safe. Same like
Yeah.
It's similar to Draymond, but like Draymond's a smash play because I know he's going to play 35 minutes,
Mhm.
barring any foul trouble. Knock on wood. Um, Killian over 6 assists, Draymond over 6 assists, and then I like Jokic or Brooks or DeRozan.
Okay.
Whatever out of those you're like, yeah, this one feels the best. Go with that.
Do you want to do? You want to add a fourth, or you want to just do three? The only reason I'm asking is I threw
Um,
those three up, and then I didn't include a fourth, but I can if you really want to plant your flag on one of the other. Because I also like Killian, but I feel pretty like not love about all the rest of them. So if you have one you really want to add, and we can throw it in the fourth, I'm down. But I have those three right now.
uh, run it back with Brooks. He should have hit against Milwaukee. No,
Yeah, he really should have.
no. Let's just leave it.
All right. So right
Those three.
here we've got Draymond, more than 6 of 6, 6 flat, really good flat line from a value perspective, and just like the game in general. I really like him to have 7+ assists tonight, and that 6 flat line's really nice. Jokic, more than 26.5. Really nice pace of spots. Jokic he's been
Yep.
more involved and aggressive offensively. I know he's had some like easier quote unquote matchups, but I'm not afraid of Memphis. Killian, 6 assists, got them more there. Like this game, nice total. Killian's been really nice in the potential assist department. I think he should have even been better. He's had some pretty weird, unfortunate foul trouble stuff in these most recent games with no Cade. Appreciate you guys. Good luck tonight on your plays. See you in the next one. Peace.